Today, I want to examine the extraordinary moment in global affairs where President Donald Trump has taken the decision to order a direct US strike on Iran's nuclear facilities at Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan, marking an historic and potentially catastrophic escalation in Middle Eastern tension. And this action, taken just days after promising a 2-week window for diplomacy, not only shatters the illusion of de-escalation but also signals a profound shift in American foreign policy. It's a move that many believe edges the world towards a far wider war, and it's a move predicated on deceit. And I find that desperately alarming. At 10 p.m. Washington time, President Trump announced that two US B-2 bombers, likely operating from Diego Garcia or Guam, had dropped a full payload of GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators on Iran's underground enrichment sites. And the targets were not random. Fordow, buried deep within a mountain, represents Iran's nuclear defiance, and Natanz is iconic in Iran's uranium program. Esfahan houses essential conversion facilities, and according to Trump, the sites were completely and totally obliterated. He was flanked by Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, a striking tableau of ideological unity, theatrical resolve, and alpha man-splaying. Trump declared the attack a spectacular military success and warned that if Iran didn't make peace, future strikes would be far greater and a lot easier. He added ominously, "There are many targets left." This is not the rhetoric of deterrence, it's the rhetoric of dominance. A man who once campaigned as the president who ends wars, now embracing confrontation with messianic flair. And the tone is familiar: peace through strength, Netanyahu echoed, though one suspects peace is less the goal than compliance. Iran, for its part, confirmed the sites had been struck but claimed they had been evacuated in advance. Whether that's true or posturing remains unclear. Either way, Iran's foreign minister has vowed everlasting consequences. Iranian state displayed graphics of US bases within fire range. And the global risks are staggering. 40,000 US troops across the Gulf region are now within missile range. The Houthis, Iranian proxies, threaten to strike American ships in the Red Sea. Russia and China are already hostile to the US, are likely to escalate rhetorical and possibly material support for Tehran. And inside Iran, national pride and the legitimacy of the regime may now demand retribution. The region teeters on the edge of a larger war, not one limited to Israel and Iran, but one dragging in the United States, its allies, and its adversaries in equal measure. The attack also poses constitutional questions. Trump's decision bypassed Congress entirely. There was no declaration of war, no emergency vote, no debate. Figures like Thomas Massie and Bernie Sanders have declared the move unconstitutional. Even Senator Warren Davidson, a Republican, voiced unease. This is the oldest American argument, Article 1 versus Article 2. And once again, it's being tested by a president who relishes unpredictability over progress. Strategically, the damage done to Iran's nuclear infrastructure is real, but perhaps not irreversible. The IAEA has yet to verify the extent of the setback, and Iran has years of technical knowledge. Enrichment can resume. Nuclear ambition can be rebuilt. Morally, we must ask what message this sends. Are we witnessing preemptive self-defense or the birth of a wider war masquerading as peacekeeping? For those who cheered Trump's so-called spectacular success, we must remember that every bomb dropped in the name of peace must one day answer to history. The bombing of Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan may have been technically successful, but diplomatically, politically, morally, it may prove to be one of the most reckless gambles in recent memory. The Middle East is not a chessboard. The people of Tehran, Tel Aviv, Baghdad, and Beirut are not pawns, and while Trump has declared this a moment of triumph, many of us hear not the fanfare of victory, but the drumbeat of escalation. Tonight, as the bombs fall and the fallout settles, over today, over the next 12 hours, we must ask, are we any closer to peace, or are we deeper in this abyss? I find this a very worrying development. Most worrying because Trump had predicted 2 weeks of diplomacy, and he demonstrates in this action that his word is not his bond, that he is, well, a liar.